My people. Hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Yolanda, and on this channel we talk about true crime happening in South Africa and around the world while sipping on some bev and snacking on some shinde, eating some nice things. So grab your drinks, grab your snacks because the gist is juicy. Now, before we go anywhere, please don't forget to subscribe. Please don't forget to like and comment down below your thoughts and click on the notification bar for notifications for future videos that will be uploaded. And Danko is thank you. So on today's video, before we go anywhere, we will be Siavana and Siavana. And we'll be snacking on some Lay's. This is the Thai sweet chili flavor. So comment down below what your favorite flavor is from Lay's, because me, I love it. It's everything. So let's get right into it. Today we'll be talking about one of South Africa's most gruesome cases to date. This is the case of Karabo, who was brutally killed and burnt by her boyfriend, whose name is Sandile Mantsoe. So today we'll be gisting about Sandile Mantsoe. Sandile Mantsoe, he was born in 1992 in Mpumalanga, which is a province in South Africa. So he grew up in Balentle, which is like a town in Mpumalanga, and his mother was Florence. Florence. His mom was Florence Kumalo, and he grew up in Balentle, and then he moved to Secunda. There he attended school at the, I can't remember what the primary school was, but he attended high school at the Highveld Park High School, and then he completed his matric in 2007. Not much was said about his upbringing, but he seemed to have quite a good upbringing because he grew up in a Christian family, and also at some point he was regarded as like a preacher man, you know. So it goes to show that he had quite a good upbringing, like a proper upbringing, if that's the right word to put it. Sandile was quite flamboyant, very flamboyant, and he was never afraid to show off. Like, he was quite a show off. He was never afraid to show off his fancy cars, you know, the lifestyle and everything else. And he had a company called the $1 Trillion Legacy, which was a trading company, and his courses, the courses like that he charged, were 12,000 rands. 12,000 rands just to learn how to trade. Ain't that a ripoff? Sandile was a father of 3 children, 2 from his ex-wife, and 1 from his ex-girlfriend, who later gave a testimony in court. And it is alleged that Sandile was dating both Karabo and Nontlantla at the same time. So he was dribbling them, you understand. So back to 2016, 24-year-old Sandile Mantsoe now goes out with 22-year-old Karabo Mokoena. And it is also alleged, reports suggest that Karabo was attracted to Sandile because of, would we say, his religious background, because like I said before, the guy had sort of like, he had a title, like everyone apparently called him like a preacher. Everyone knew him as a preacher. So Karabo was drawn to that side of him. Even Sandile gave sort of like, what would we say? He sort of bragged that he assisted Karabo in a lot of things. He helped her when things were not going well in her life. He was practically there for her through her trying times. So I guess that's what drew her to him. Close friends to the couple claimed that Sandile was quite an abusive and very violent partner. They claimed that he had beat Karabo several times and he also kicked Karabo. And eventually Karabo opened a case of assault against him on the 27th of March 2017, which was on her birthday. So guy beat Miguel on her birthday. Creepy. Fortunately though, this assault didn't just end up as just a common assault. A life was taken and a murder had also happened. Exactly a month later, on Friday, 28th of April 2017, around 2:48 a.m. in the morning, this was the last time Karabo was seen with Sandile Mantsoe. And on the same day, at about 10 something p.m., Sandile was seen driving a wheelie bin, like you know those bins, those big bins, driving it out of his room and getting into a lift. CCTV footage showed Sandile coming out of the lift, going outside like to a nearby flat, taking a wheelie bin, dragging it to his room, and less than 10 minutes later, he was seen clearly struggling with a wheelie bin, dragging it into the lift, and that was all that was seen of Sandile Mantsoe. Within that period, Karabo's frantic family, they called Sandile since she went missing, and he told them that he had no idea where she was. His choice of words were, and I quote, "Mantsoe, I don't know where she is, but I didn't kill her." Close quote. What innocent person says that? It's creepy. And unfortunately, this was one of the moments that gave a clue to the family as to the events that would follow. Reports say that when Karabo's burnt and mutilated body was found at a felt near Colette Drive, which is like in Sandton, there was only one suspect, to be honest. He was the only suspect because he was the last person to see her, and Sandile Mantsoe was the suspect. Sandile claimed that he left the apartment, he left Karabo at his apartment and he had left since. And then when he came back, he met with Karabo's lifeless body. And so because he saw Karabo lying down there, allegedly, he took the body, he took it upon himself to take the body and get rid of any evidence that would link him to her killing, because he knew that her family would accuse him of killing Karabo. So the Forex king now proceeded to go into a petrol station, goes to the petrol station, to buy petrol, and then he also went to his mom's place in Ramley to get some tires and some pool acid. And then he also added, like within the reports, that no one had seen him. So he was sure that this would be a clean job, no mistakes whatsoever. Then he disposed of Karabo's lifeless body by gruesomely burning it with a petrol and acid dosed tire. Meaning he poured petrol on the tire and then he poured some acid as well. Put it over Karabo's body and he set her ablaze. How sick is that? He then disposed of her remains in the vault near Santon, and eventually, because remember his statement, what he said to the mother, already he was a suspect. So immediately Karabo got missing and that was it. He was the suspect. So he was then later arrested for murder and defeating the ends of justice. So when his court case began, my guy initially didn't want to admit to killing Karabo Mokoena. He maintained that Karabo had committed suicide and he found her just lying dead at his Santon apartment. He also claimed that Karabo was addicted to the high life and that she was quite abusive towards him. So now, this is quite a contradiction because his friends and Karabo's friends, they claim that he was the one who was abusive towards Karabo. But now he's like switching it as though Karabo was the one who was abusing him. She was like, in a statement read out in court, Mantsoe, he claimed that Karabo used to beat him up. And that she had developed anger and depression after she was raped by one of her former lovers, meaning he was there to comfort her, but at the same time being abusive towards him. And he also alleged that Karabo used to cut herself, which he says even Karabo's sister had witnessed this. And at one point he had found her with a box of sleeping tablets and she was just passed out. He said even a security guard had witnessed this incident. But the security guard, he said he did not witness this, that he only assisted Sandile only once at one point where he had left his access card somewhere. He left it in his apartment. So he only assisted him in order to get into his apartment. And that was it. That was just it. Even Santon police went through the apartment's occurrence book, but they didn't find anything of this particular sort in that book. So obviously this guy was just lying, he was just making things up. So during the court case, the state court pathologist Me Malrato Ramela, she was the one who conducted the postmortem on Mokoena'S body. And she told the court that a large part of Karabo's body was missing. It was missing. She couldn't tell whether Karabo was dead or alive at the time of when she was set ablaze. And lead investigators also said that they were convinced beyond reasonable doubt that Karabo's killing was related to rituals or an occult. The lead investigators then revealed that one of the lead investigators, he revealed that 60% of Karabo's internal organs, including her heart, they were missing. So she was mutilated. She was not just murdered, she was equally mutilated, brutally. As at the time her burnt body was discovered. And he also added that in his experience, such cases of mutilation can only be in relation to an occult, or it was a ritual killing. Just straightforward. During investigations, one of the investigating officers then overheard a conversation between Sandile and some of the police officers where he was detained, and he was telling them about his business in Forex. And as he was talking to them, he told them about how he needed to do a sacrifice because him and Karabo were separated again at the time. So he needed to do a sacrifice. And as they were talking, he told them that he needed to do a sacrifice because him and Karabo were separated. So within the conversation, he now started telling them as well that the police officer, they wouldn't understand what was happening. So he was talking like someone who was confused, but in a way, kind of like, it's forgeerd. The officer then said that during her testimony, when she was testifying in court, that she heard Sandile say, and I quote, "When you're in this business, you need power," close quote. So, my people, I'm going to leave that for you to decide what that means, especially in regards to this whole case. He also explained that he got his power with Karabo. How? I didn't understand that. And then they went to a master together. Which master? I don't know. Another weird thing about Mugai was that he was very nonchalant throughout the case. During the court proceedings, he was just, Even the lead investigator at some point said that Sandile acted as though he was the victim, like he was the one who was being abused, like he was the one that was offended, and he did not acknowledge what he had done, the gravity of the crime he had done, and he showed absolutely no remorse whatsoever for his actions, to a point where now the judge, during his final verdict, he referred to Sandile as, quote unquote, the devil in disguise, which I agree with. And this goes to show how much of a sick person this guy really was. So Sandile Mantsoe was convicted of premeditated murder and defeating the ends of justice, and he was sentenced to 32 years imprisonment, and he's still serving his sentence till today. I don't think 32 years is enough for someone who would do something as gruesome as killing someone and going an extra step to get rid of any evidence which would connect you to it by burning them and thinking that nobody would find out. But I'd like to hear your opinions. Please comment down below your thoughts. Please don't forget to subscribe. Please don't forget to like, and just share this video and click on the notification bell, because we is continuing. Okay, so next time,